No break, no jam, no sense. A joro jam, a joro, joro, joro.
I'm always at Ohiz. You already know Ifeanyi. Well, we have one of our hosts, big up Okiki, doing his thing up in Aberdeen. And today we have a special guest, man like RowBlack in the building.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I'm saying?
The energy, man, it's too much.
No, you just have to do it. Have good energy because even right now, I'm sure most of you watching this on YouTube or wherever are noticing that we're filming somewhere different. Like right now, we're at JukeBox Studios. Moving up in the world for real. You get me? Because fam, like some of my heroes of work here, we're talking people like Rich, Get, Conflict of Interest out now, by the way. Yeah, big people. Even half cast, they walk across the room. Like so, even just being in this area is just crazy to me. But enough of us, man. Ro, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm nice, man. How are you guys doing today?
Blessed, obviously COVID and that, travel, certain circumstances.
Was the travel affected? How long it took for any COVID restrictions or anything?
I mean, kind of, because even now, like traveling is obviously long because obviously, like sometimes they'll be questioning you, like, oh, what's your reason of travel and blah blah blah.
Have you come across that already?
Yeah, once.
I've never come across it the whole time.
I swear, some people just get lucky because even one time I remember, like I was at my family's place in Oxford, like for Christmas. I was trying to go back to Chef. Yeah. I was trying to bump train. I can't lie, because I usually successfully.
When the gates open, you just gotta walk through.
You get me? So
it's like nah, man.
And usually I successfully bump it, innit? But this time, so the guy in charge of the tickets or whatever, there are two sides. It's me on this side and this other next guy on the right. So he goes to the guy on the right, like, tickets please, and then I'm on my phone already on train. I was like, I have to get my thing. I'm not trying to get fined. But
the train was already moving, innit? It wasn't
like it was gone. Like, so no excuses. Train was gone, innit? So it's mad, because he asked the guy, and funny enough, the guy was trying to bump train too. Yeah. And I was like, oh, in these times, like, especially because at the time Oxford was a tier 4 city. Yeah. So it was like, yo, like the fines are different. We're gonna have to give you an £8,000 fine.
£8,000? I'm jumping off a moving train. If anybody tried to give me an £8,000 fine, I'm jumping off of a moving train at the films and hope for the best.
Brother, like my eyes went wide open, so my thumbs are moving in quick speed. Like I must pattern this thing now.
No way, man.
But can you imagine like trying to save £50 on a train ticket and then getting fined 8k?
8k, that's ridiculous. They can't get away with that, man.
8 bags, yo! I was in tears doing it. It's like, Lord, if you love me, if you're out there, please let this thing stick. But
what happened after?
I nested, didn't it? Like he saw me, and then I'm looking at the guy. I was like, because he had his hand in his head, so I was just like, bro, I'm so sorry. But in my head, I'm like, Lord, thank you. Like this could never be.
So he never came to you. You just gave that.
Now he eventually switched to me after it was done with the guy. I was like, oh, where's your ticket? And then I had already the time he was using to find him and everything. Like I got my thing on train line. So I just said,
okay.
You go.
So you're ready.
Yeah. But apart from that, let's get into accept our struggles. Let's get into life of Row. Like obviously you're a producer, engineer, and an artist yourself. So just get into like the background of Row. Like what made you want to get into this?
Basically, I've always kind of loved music. And my dad, he's Jamaican. He always had these massive sound systems when I was young. And my mum loves music as well. She's not an official DJ, but she likes doing her little DJ and stuff for fun. You know what I mean? And playing loads of different music. And just growing up around music, I always kind of loved it, but I didn't know that I loved it until like after studying at uni and not going through my degree at film. And then when I didn't really know what to do with myself, I just bought my studio equipment. I said, no, I need to make music. You know what I mean? So that's what's kind of really like drove me. Like I mean, like the failure at uni made me realize, what do I need to do? And then one day I just had a light bulb moment and I just bought all my equipment. I said, this is what I need to do. I need to know how to do all of this stuff, because there's factors as well, because when I was an artist I was going to other studios and stuff and I felt like a lot of the engineers were shit. Do you know what I mean? And this is a problem that a lot of people underground talk about, and it's not really known, but it is. Like there's a lot of people that's not really in love with music and they're trying to make a quick
it's just
change.
a bag, innit? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was going to, when I was doing grime music first, like years ago, and then kept bumping into a lot of bad engineers and stuff. And then I thought, I need to do this myself. So that's part of the reason, you know what I mean? But I've always loved music from when I was a child, you know what I mean? Because my dad always had the sound system and equalizer and stuff. He used to show me that bass and treble and stuff, you know what I mean? So
that's best, bro. Like even now, obviously he has a project out now, Law. I think that dropped in about November,
yeah.
So it has been the reception of that, and why? Because obviously, again, you're a producer, you do your own thing. So it's like, because I saw the cover as well. You know, it was pictures of you when you were young, right now. Yeah. So what inspired the cover and what inspired that piece of work?
Okay, basically from when I was like about 10 years old, my mum has all of these loads of pictures. There's a massive it's called a collage, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's loads of pictures of me, family, and everybody that's in my hallway at home. And I saw that and I thought I need something similar to that, you know what I mean? And
that's cool.
So I put pictures of myself you see as a kid. There's certain stages of my life and have different meanings and stuff. So that's what inspired me, the fact that my mum did like some sort of collage and it's in the hallway.
That's great. How's the reception been, really?
Yeah, no, everyone close to me really loves it, but I felt like at the time I didn't put as much marketing in it as I should have. So the people close to me, everyone that knows me, they love it. I haven't had nobody say they don't like it, you know what I mean? But yeah, everyone said this and that's their best track, you know what I mean? So everyone around me loves it. Even I've had a few people that I don't know message me, say, I just came across the tracks and stuff, they sound good. Do you know what I mean? Cause I really like music, you know what I mean? My main focus is like sound engineering and producing, but I was an artist at first, but I kind of fell in love with the engineering and producing side of it because I was so curious. I wanted to know how is that done, do you know what I mean? So I kind of fell back on releasing a lot of music, do you know what I mean? When I was doing this in 2017, you know what I mean, on BBC, had my film in my song in a film called Brotherhood in 2016. I done a few big things, you know what I mean? But I kind of let my foot off the pedal between like 2017 and 2018, you know what I mean? I felt like I lost direction of music. I was going from grime music to what you hear on the LOL project, you know what I mean? It's all singing melodic. I never thought I'd be singing, do you know what I mean? But I fell in love with it, you know what I mean? So I'm just following my path. You know what I mean?
I read thing is as an engineer, because even me, like I on the slide, like I create music myself, but it's not really been something that I put out. A lot of it is obviously because of reasons like I grew up in an African home where music is not the wave.
Yeah, they want you to do maths and no, it's true. Because I had a lot of Nigerian friends as well, and even when it was picking GCSEs or picking A levels and stuff, I noticed that they're
not trying to hear music.
Do you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie, my parents they've always been supportive of me doing what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? And that's like a blessing that I had. They were born in London as well, though, so I think that plays a role as well.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Whereas I think if they were born in Caribbean like my grandparents, it would have been a different story. Like, do you know what I mean? But
because the thing is, you've even worked with like people like I'm even trying to work with, because even now as a university student up in Sheffield, like I've always just wanted to kind of get into the music world, like somehow, like I'm trying to hack it. Like even right now I'm applying for placements at places like Sony, UMG, like you've worked for these places, QC and all that. So who would you think, like what was a moment as an engineer or artist that just really made you think, like, be it someone you'd worked with or an artist you collaborated with, that you were like, oh wow, like people are taking me seriously, like this is
okay. I'll tell you what it was. It wasn't a specific, because you see me, I don't value like celebrities like as a you were all the same. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I don't put any of I put the labels credits in my bio maybe. Do you know what I'm saying? Which you see on my Instagram, but I don't put the artists. Do you know what I mean? So, but the turning point for me was when my song was in the Brotherhood film.
Yeah.
Because I mixed that song. I recorded it in my friend's hostel, and we mixed and mastered it together. Do you know what I'm saying? We recorded it all together inside a hostel, and I realized we done this piece of art here, and it's in a multi-million-pound film. That is when I believed that anything's possible. Do you know what I mean? So that after that, and when my song was on BBC One Extra, like I fell back a bit, because like I said, I was focusing on engineering and what I needed to know how to do this. You know what I mean? And I had to know how to do everything. So I think it's the curiosity that's in me that made me want to just find out how to do all that. But I think that was the turning point, was when I was in Soho. We was in a private cinema 3 months before the film came out. There's all these big celebrities and big artists that everyone knows of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stormzy was in Brotherhood.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
so I was there like wow. Like, the whole time I didn't believe it was going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, nah, something's going to happen. This ain't really happening. Then on the day they message me, say, oh, come to the premiere.
That's
And I still didn't
That's
believe it.
crazy,
You see, I was walking down the road, and I was like, is this the right place? Is this the right? And I think I saw Big Toe standing outside, and then I was like, okay, this might be the right place. And then I saw him, and then he's going in the same area. And then I went down, but yeah, man. Even when I got to the door when I was getting all the names, I said, "Nah, I bet something's gonna go wrong. My name's not gonna be on the list." And then she's taking a while, and I started sweating. I was like,
you know, everyone's when you're in the club,
yeah. Then she saw a name, and it was all good. But that's when I realized anything is possible. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody around me was surprised about that. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I just had one day where I thought, oh, I need to do something different. And I thought, let me try and get my song into a film. And I thought, who's a local person that makes films? And that's Noel Clark, innit? But at the time, he hadn't made anything recent or anything coming soon. So I thought, he must be working on some sort of new project. So I sent his music production team an email saying, if you have any songs that you think, any films that you might think will suit the song, blah, 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 you can use it. And then I didn't hear nothing for 6 months. And then one day I saw the email. So then but that was the turning point for me, because I realized that's my song. I wrote it, recorded it, mixed and mastered it. You know what I mean? So I thought, this is me, man. You know what I'm saying?
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy how something can just flip your destiny.
Yeah,
like
that song has 5,000 views on YouTube, but it's in a film that's been viewed millions of times.
Yeah, so even at that, it's like people have heard that song.
Yeah.
Like be cheeky Shazam here and there, people liked it and bumped it. Like moments like that, man. So obviously, I know you say you don't really necessarily rate like the celebrities and stuff, and you don't use it as a measure of success. But who are some artists that you've actually worked with that you're like just kind of like, oh wow?
Joe rapper called Frosty.
Ooh, okay.
There was one song called County Lines. I think I only ever had one session with that guy, you know.
And
I had one session with him, and we recorded that song, and then months later I saw it blow up, and I've worked with Western.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been around quite a few people, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really like.
Yeah.
There's a few people I have worked with that are big, but I just.
But you just want to chill. Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're all the same, and this is what I'm saying. All of these big people, when I do work with them, that's what they like about me. Because, you know what I'm saying, usually when I meet big celebrities, there's few people in the room that everyone's
bit starstruck.
Oh my God,
that,
you know what I'm saying? They're
yeah.
moving a bit. I keep myself to myself, so they usually take a liking to that. Do you know what I mean? So I like to rate everybody the same. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Because I can imagine that some celebrities and musicians or whatever, it's just like, oh, I don't need a fan right now. I just need someone that's like proper on job.
Yeah,
like,
I'm telling you, that's how I've got a lot of my opportunities. You know what I mean? So even when people ask for studio, ask for beats, I don't ever say, I've worked with this or that person. Like I might send them a track that's not a big artist, but you hear the quality, and then that's what they'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When there's a lot of clout based around it, you got a lot of people that's not serious, that think you're the key to blowing and stuff, and it's just a bit long. If that makes sense, I don't know if that.
No, it does, because at the end of the day, it's one thing to just have that piece of work with a big artist or whatever, but that's even one thing I really don't like about the music scene right now. I feel like everything is just so oversaturated. Like artists who try and get big artists together, try and make a song, do like 27 remixes or whatever the case may be, and then it's just not quality anymore. Because back in the day, it'd be like it's quality first. You have to put the music out, people would love it. But now, if one song goes, now you're hearing 36 remixes in like 12 languages or whatever, and then people are just trying to throw people on songs. And then yes, it has big name value, but at the same time, it's not really quality. Even now, even Drake made a song specifically for TikTok.
Drake was meant to come here, you know, with Tory Lanez one time. Yeah, I'll tell you. Basically, nobody really knew about it, but obviously there was a producer that I knew, and then Drake and Tory Lanez was in the O2 or something, and they needed a studio to come to. But my thing is, like I said, I treat everybody the same. You see how you had to put this and you had to pay in advance and stuff. Yeah, their thing is that they're not sure if they're gonna come yet, but if they do, they'll come and pay cash. And I was like, I'm in my room right now. I'm not gonna stand here and wait and see if you're gonna be free, and see if you want to if you want studio tonight, let me know within an hour, and then I'll book it in, and then you know what I'm saying. But that didn't go ahead. I don't know where they went after. But
Do you know
if I said yes, I would have gone against my morals, and that wouldn't have sat right with me. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't really care if it's Drake or Drake.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because it's like there has to be such a level of different personal respect for you to make a Drake on a Tory Lanez like follow the rules and follow your morals. Like, okay, like everyone has the same set of rules. Just because you're probably the biggest artist on earth right now doesn't mean I'm gonna bend the rules or change things for you. Because
it's funny because they ended up going to a basketball court down the road, which my friend works for, and because I'm saying because of who they are, the person let them come in and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and to be fair, you can't even blame them, but at the same time, it's just like
I hear that. But like I said, things like that really bother me deep down. Like, I won't be able to sleep and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I'll be like, nah, I'm a very fair person. Like, you know what I mean? Even when it comes to me, I have to treat me good, I treat you good. Treat me bad, I treat you bad. You know what I'm saying? That's just
Is that a product of your background? Obviously, you said you grew up like with Caribbean lineage and whatever. Like, where specifically from the Caribbean, actually?
Jamaica. My dad's fully Jamaican, and my mum's half Irish and half Dominican.
But
yeah, I think it's a lot of the principles. I think mostly my dad. Do you know what I mean? My dad's a big part of my life. I really respect him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's taught me certain principles and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, not to beg nobody for nothing. Like, you're saying, mess with people that only want to mess with you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, don't treat like a homeless man better than. Do you know what I mean?
How you
like,
treat a rich man or whatever.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's a lot of the principles that. And it's just these things, it matters. We're in a generation where there's not a lot of principles, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to stick to morals and stuff.
Yeah. Are you from London? Were you grow up in London?
Yeah, West London. I grew up in West London. Around here. Yeah.
Fair enough, man. It's crazy because even now, again, that's different level of. Again, I'm still not over the Drake thing. Even now, it's like, okay, cool. I mean, rooms and places where. Like Wretch Free 2, for example, is one of my heroes. So when you go on the website, you're listing like the people that have worked here, wherever. Like I knew 3 Shots like recorded here a few times, obviously because of studio and stuff, because and COVID. I knew they did a few episodes here. Obviously, Halfcast is in the other room. So I'm just like, yo, like I can't call them my peers yet, but then it's like people that I look up to be in the podcast world, music. Like they work in places like this. So are you like? Oh, like what is like your role at JukeBox Studios? Actually?
Basically, I have the person who owns this is someone called Savage Dan. You probably know.
Oh, Savage Dan owns JukeBox.
Savage Dan owns the studio. You know what I'm saying, but we was across the road before we came here because it was only one room across the road, and I was engineering at home, letting friends come around and random people, and then Dan said he put up a tweet or something saying that he needed someone to be an engineer, blah blah blah, and then. Like I was like, yeah, let me do this. You know what I'm saying? I messaged him straight away. I was like,
I can imagine,
right now, because I had this problem of like I started to get a reputation of like good engineering at home. People was telling other people that I got this guy engineer. They wanted to come around my house. I'm not letting no random people come to my house. Do you know what I mean? So when I saw that Dan said he needed somebody, I was like, okay, this can work. Do you know what I mean? So I said, let me go down. My friend, I had a friend that said to me, he's like, you shouldn't do it, like, because you're just going to end up focusing on just engineering. You won't be an artist again. And he was kind of right, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I remember I said that my foot fell off the pedal. I wanted to be more curious about all the engineering stuff. But yeah, so then I met with Dan and I said, yeah, we could do it, be partners and that. Because when he's not in England or something, I'm here and I'll take care of it. And then so another guy called H as well. And we all just all work together, do you know what I mean? But Dan is the owner of the studio, do you know what I mean?
I didn't even know Dan owned.
So I wouldn't run around saying that I own the studio, but I'll definitely say I'm a part of it. You know what I mean?
I can imagine because the fact that we have to reach out to you means that obviously you hold a certain position up here. So even working with people like Dan and seeing, for example, even obviously Halfcast, big up Chucky, Poet, and them, man, like they obviously bring in a lot of stars sometimes. So you just do like stuff like that. Again, you've always said that you're not a person that gets starstruck easily. But then, have you ever like met a particular artist or whatever?
I can't lie. We was across the road, and because I've been like, how was I 13, 14 when I was listening to gigs. He was here for Halfcast, and when he was there, it just felt like an uncle to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my days, gigs. In my head though, like again, there was multiple people, and then I felt like there was a bit more excited. You know what I mean? And I thought like I can't. In me, I was just like, I didn't want to. You
don't want to gossip, but in your head is like, bro, like this is the Godfather here.
It must be so annoying for him. So I said, I just kept myself to it, and then he ended up coming over to me, innit? He's like, oh, so what are you doing? I was like, engineer, blah blah blah. I was gassed inside. I was so happy inside. I can't lie, but
I can imagine.
Yeah, but I was happier. Do you know why I was even more happier? Because it was organic. You know what I'm saying? He came over to me, like I wasn't just another
You
person.
didn't force it or whatever the case may be. And I rate that because I can't like if I was to walk out this room and see someone like Wretch or whatever just walking like it's going to take every fiber of my being to make me relax. Just like he's chill. But at the same time it's like okay, cool. Obviously there's these people that are coming in and whatever. And seeing the success of other podcasts that have worked here and whatever, does that just really just kind of be like, wow, this is something that I essentially built, or I'm like not qualifying, but it's like I'm involved, like I'm part of what JukeBox has become today. Yeah.
Contribution, you know what I mean? I've been like dedicated myself to it fully, and that, do you know what I mean? Once I partnered up with Dan, I said, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It's just it's mad. It's unreal, but it's.
I can imagine,
it's
man.
mad. I remember we was across the road and Dan is like, we're gonna need a bigger studio. There's too much clients because it was getting ridiculous. There's so much podcasts, so much artists, and we had one room. And then he's talking to me about where we should move, different places, looking elsewhere. And then here was just right underneath our noses. There was this white room that was just empty, and then they said, yeah, we can do it. And so while we was over there, this was still getting built. The builders, electricians and stuff. It took a while, man. But when he brought the idea to me, at first I was like, oh man, things are going good here, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, let's not overdo it, innit?
Things are going good here, and I was like, nah, I have to come out that mind frame, innit? Let's take the leap of faith, innit? And then yeah, man.
I feel you, man. Because even now, like, so do you like engineer like all the? Because obviously, like, podcasting right now, but then there's actually like studios and stuff like that for actual music production.
So let me give an example. Look, right now, say this was 3 years ago when we was across the road, yeah? Okay. Dan's got a session right now next door and he's recording music. I wouldn't have been able to let you guys come to it because there would only be in one room. So obviously we're all engineering and doing our stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're all putting in as much work. We just, you know what I'm saying, just work together. If Dan's not here and he's got something busy, he might call me and say, oh, Rowan, you able to do this? I'll be like, yeah, I can help out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fair. And then I have my own clients and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like a barber shop we all own. I don't know that. But yeah, Dan is the backbone of this. He made this happen. You know what I'm
I can tell. And even you, it's like real respect thing. It's like a family thing. It's like you understand that, okay, cool, he was the one that provided this opportunity. And now it's this. Now there's Bear Studios. Now there's people, reputable people. Obviously, one day we're gonna be there in the credits, like the Green Passport podcast has been. You get me? Like maybe one day, innit? But then
you just. I mean, my advice: you just gotta keep going, man. You know how much people that was doing podcasts before lockdown that have stopped. You know what I mean? Like the thing about half cast, free shots, they just didn't stop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't stop.
Like even when half cast sold out a show and free shot, I was like, raw, like. Do you know what I mean? Because I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
How far like podcasting
like, you know
has
it's
come.
It's actually possible. It's the proofs in the pudding. Once you see people doing it, you just have to stay consistent. Make sure this is what you love. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like for example, I went to uni and went off to do film. I thought I loved making film, but I don't love making film. I love watching films. Do you know what I mean? I don't like making films. You know what I mean?
There's a big difference.
Yeah, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. You know what I mean? I realized that I love listening to music and I love making it. Like, and love seeing something I made from bottom to top and know that that's a creation. I'm a creator. Do you know what I mean? I like to see results. So, you know what I mean?
Because even now, because again, you're in a funny way, you're kind of me. Yeah. And I'm gonna explain because it's like obviously right now I'm at uni, I'm second year, I'm studying politics and international relations, and
get the degree.
No, I'm getting the degree. No, I'm 1,000,000% getting the degree. Because even right now, as I just factoring like how much my parents and how much work is taking for me to even be sitting here right now is mad. I'm getting that degree. But at the same time, it's just like if I'm being super honest with myself, is that really what I want to do? No, like I'm self-taught piano like since I was 4. Really? So it's like it's something that I've always loved music. I can play the guitar, like I'm learning drums. So it's just something that's always been there. I learned how to produce myself 2018-ish, made a few beats, it's happy, but it's never really something I put out because even me hearing it, and then I might share it with people.
You feel like you're not there yet.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Yeah, don't put nothing until you feel like you're confident with it. You know what I mean? Because I was an artist first, and then I said I'm gonna get into engineering, but I didn't call myself an engineer until I felt confident that I could mix people's music to a good quality and I can charge them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I thought that there's a lot of shameless engineers, man. They don't know what they're doing, man. They're charging serious money. You know what I mean? Like, so you just got. Well, what was you saying? I just lost my shade of thought. Oh, wow.
No, I feel you. It happens, isn't it? But then it's just like even me, because I've learned right now. I'm here. because even as a podcast now, just me being a perfectionist, I've learned how to sound engineer and everything like that. So in the production world, like every day I'm learning something. In fact, there was this one artist, is like a Nigerian artist. It's not that big in it, like, because I was just sharing like my beats and stuff. Just I wasn't even trying to work with anyone. I just wanted to hear what artists said and what they thought about it. One guy said it was so good. It was really to give me. At the time, I wasn't charging anything. Just wanted like £300 for the beat. I said no, because I wasn't happy with the beat, and to this day I still never gave it to him.
See, that's called morals and principles.
Because I still,
if you sold him,
never
that beat,
gave him the beat.
If you sold him that beat, you wouldn't have slept properly. Because you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But once you're at a stage where you know, and yes, I can charge £300, you'll feel purpose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because even now, obviously, as a producer, you should know. Non-producer, you're probably gonna be mad confused now. Maybe you know it, but then sometimes when you make something that maybe you haven't finished it, you're just a bit. It's like, I know that needs an 808.
Yeah, or there's something wrong with the 808 or something. Right.
So maybe I should put a hi-hat there. It's like, the drum didn't hit the way I wanted to. Like something like that, innit? Like stuff like that bothers me.
Yeah, so you can't. Music, my advice is just don't. Like Dr. Dre never used to put out nothing unless he was happy with it, and you can look back 10 years later and say,
I made the Chronic, so
I had a few grime songs I didn't really like before, and it started to bother me. Like 4 years later, I said, "Oh, wow." And I ended up taking it off YouTube. I said, "I don't like it. I don't like it." And this is from then on. I said, "I'm not releasing anything or putting out anything or selling anything to anybody unless I'm happy with it." Do you know what I mean?
That's a real respect thing, man.
So the Drake and Tory Lanez situation, it could have happened, it may not have, but I'm not gonna sit around and wait to see if it's gonna happen. If you wanna book it now. Do you know what I mean? But if I came to studio and waited here for 4 hours, not knowing if they're gonna come or not, and they came, I would have been unhappy. If they didn't, I would have been happy if they came. But at deep, I would be like, nah, you wouldn't have done that for somebody else. You know what I mean?
So you never worried about being blackballed?
Blackballed? Why I wouldn't have been blackballed for that situation.
No, I mean not necessarily blackballed, but then say a Drake and a Tory, because again, a lot of these celebrities, I'm not saying them, but a lot of celebrities are entitled, innit? So say you're giving them.
Keep in mind, I didn't directly speak to Drake. It's somebody that was in contact with him and within
his team, innit?
He was there. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, I didn't speak to Drake
because
directly.
even at that, because like it could have been a thing. Again, these celebrities are so, at least some of them can be entitled. Like imagine it being a thing. It's like, oh, you have to follow the rules or blah blah blah, and then he just sends out to you. It's like, don't work with this studio.
No. I think it's possible. It's possible because I've definitely had a few artists. I've had quite a few big artists come to me, and I've rejected them for some either reason of not having the same understanding. The entitlement.
Maybe after we're done filming, you can tell us.
The entitlement thing, just assuming that I'll do it for this certain price. You'll be surprised. A lot of big artists expect you to pay less because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all of them. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying it happens. They will try and hustle and stuff. You know what I mean? And
that's what I'm saying, because they're
very
them,
hard-headed. I'm very hard-headed. So yeah.
I respect that, man. Because even now, like again. Maybe even off camera, I could kind of just talk and just ask for more advice in it, because at the end of the day, like this music thing is something I am in love with. So I've always seen it like even if I don't become an artist or a beat maker, I want to be involved in some way. Being an A&R is something I've been really looking into. But again, right now I'm a podcaster with my boy, so it's like
all I can say. All I can say for music, you have to be nuts to do music.
I agree.
You have to be nuts to do music. You have to. It's music's like it's financial suicide. You don't know what's gonna happen. You have to believe in this. Like you have to really believe in it. Do you know what I mean? Like when I got my iMac and stuff, I didn't know I was gonna end up doing the engine and doing it for a living. Do you know what I mean? I thought I'm curious about this. I really need to know how to do this, and then organically things came along.
My laptop, MIDI keyboard, all that.
When I bought it, my dad was like, what are you doing? It's $3.5 grand. You could have got a car or something, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But now he sees it and he's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But everyone has their different ways of thinking they'll spend money. But music is financial suicide, but it's worth it if you just stay consistent with it.
How has COVID affected the grind so far?
In the beginning, it was a bit tough, you know what I mean? But now they've put these new rules of distance and stuff. So as long as we just have less numbers, things are more, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't too bad, you know what I'm saying? But
and just the other day, I was just going through your Instagram. By the way, I'm sorry for your loss. So I was just wondering, was that from COVID? Because right now I'm seeing the way COVID has pretty much like rage rampant in a lot of people's families, and it's just
basically my dad had COVID, my auntie had COVID, my cousin had COVID, and my nan had COVID. But my nan was 90 years old, so although they would add that to a COVID statistic, could she have had a bad flu and still passed away? Is my question. Do you get what I'm saying? So,
see, stuff like that actually has people question the stats of COVID.
Yeah. Cause obviously, I've lost my nan to COVID basically, but it wasn't COVID entirely. Do you know what I mean? And this is the majority of what's happening. A lot of more weaker people. Don't get me wrong. There has been healthy people that have unfortunately passed through it, but it's not a massive number of people. You know what I mean? So I still believe that. You know what I mean? The COVID thing is being pushed too hard, and it's a bit of control of what's going on. It is safe that the lockdowns happen, but these things should have happened a long time ago. We shouldn't be in lockdown right now. All this lockdown stuff should have happened in the beginning and handled.
It's just all right. It was just bad governance because look at
it's
like
a joke. It's a joke. Yeah,
the eat out to help out thing in August.
That was a joke. Oh my! when I saw eat out to help out, I was like, nah, the country's taking a piss now, man. I mean, and then
even the whole tier system, because again, I'm up in Sheffield, and Sheffield was one of the, like, at first it was really high, like in very early stages, but then come August, wherever the rates were really low, but then still when they made the whole tier system bullshit, like Sheffield was in tier 3, which was like at the time the highest tier, and London, we're talking about one of the biggest metropolitan cities on earth, was tier 2, and I'm like,
so what, is tier 2 worse than tier 3 or better?
No, tier 2 is like, no, it's better. So essentially, like, there's still like leeway. You can still do stuff. You can go outside.
So Sheffield was tier 3 and London was tier 2.
Yeah. We're talking about one of the most popular cities on planet Earth.
I mean, let's be honest. London is a financial hub. So everyone's probably wanted to keep it open for that, and then they just.
But that's still greed. But now that's why we're in the situation that we're in right now, because of that greed. Because sometimes you can't know. You have to leave finance and stuff like that alone. How can you put London in tier 2?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should play devil's advocate.
Play
To be fair, I mean, it's a difficult one because we don't. No, let me not say this.
No, say it, bro.
No, because it's not coming. The way it's coming to my head, it's not correct. So
okay.
Just say it, bro. Worst case, I edit.
Yeah, Boris's job isn't easy. So sometimes.
Oh no,
yeah.
See, this man is a man of more. See, he has balance. That's bad. It's true. running a country is not.
It's not easy.
But yeah, carry on.
Because there are people he has to satisfy. We were talking about closing down Heathrow, and it's easy for us to say, "Oh, just shut down the entire country, close down Heathrow." But Heathrow is. I think I saw a statistic. It's a stop for other destinations. I don't know what the actual term is. Yeah. So closing down Heathrow, what I'm saying is, there are going to be other ramifications from it, be it international relations, stuff like that. So it's not as clear-cut as people think it is. Okay. But at the same time, I understand that people are dying and people's lives should take precedence over anything else, to be honest. And so, I mean, I guess you have to put that first, to be fair. And then you have people who have to work to, put food on the table, and then on the other end, you're telling them to stay at home because of COVID. So I don't know if I've articulated this properly, to be honest.
No. I understand.
It's just not as easy as people think it is.
To run the country, basically?
Yeah,
no, of course it's not. You're having loads of people in suits saying, "Oh, what are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?" Shut up, man! I don't know, man. Like, do you know what I mean?
To be fair, in our defense, it's their job.
Yeah, it is their way. It's what you signed up. You wanted to be doing.
We're entitled to say, find a way. Literally, because it is your job.
But I think the stupidest thing he did was go in and start shaking hands at him. He said it on public news. You'll be pleased to know that
at the beginning. It was around this time last year. I was out here shaking hands with everybody. I'm like, brother, like,
and he caught it as well.
And he caught, bro,
silly man.
Something that just aged poorly. But man, all things though, would you say? Because I like asking guests this sometimes. Like, are you happy with everything going on? Your career, life, and everything else.
Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful all the time because it's not too long ago when I was out of uni and I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, don't want to do a job that I'm not gonna be waking up happy to. You know what I mean? And so
I feel that.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's just like a lot of magic, really, and just curiosity. Do you know what I mean? But,
do you have any advice for people like that? Because I reckon there are a lot of people who are doing things in uni that they wouldn't be happy with doing.
So what advice for someone that's currently studying something they're not happy with?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're in that situation where you're doing something you're not happy with right now, work on what it is that you do like really much on the side. That's the best way I can explain it. Because when I was like I knew at a point that I'm not gonna like this year of uni, and I'm losing interest. Like I felt the loss of interest, so I was already like searching how to do this and how to do that, and going to other engineers and following them at labels and stuff. And do you know what I mean? I knew where I may have been next after. Do you know what I mean? So you have to just show interest into whatever it is you do love at the side, so you have something to look forward to after work, or do you know what I mean? Like you obviously have to be realistic. I was fortunate to do what I'm doing now for as a living. I think a bit of, you know what I'm saying, God and guidance was there, do you know what I mean? But you have to just make sure you have to have an income, you know what I'm saying? Not everyone has these massive standards on social media that you got to be this massive star, do you know what I mean? Like, and so much pressure on you to have all this money and stuff that you shouldn't really be worrying about, you know what I mean? So just be realistic, aim for the stars, but at the same time stay grounded. Does that make sense? Like,
I kind of see.
It's hard. It's hard for me to explain it.
It makes perfect sense.
Of course, chase your dreams, but you have to. Not everyone can just drop out of work and just chase.
Yeah, it's too risky.
You're not gonna have no money. You have to live in the real world at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So that's.
Yeah, I love that because people never say that actually.
Yeah,
people just say stuff like chase your dreams. Or just,
look at the stories of people dropping out of uni. You can't. You have to be realistic, man.
And I think it's a bit crazy that because of how fast-paced the world is, people are expected to know what they want to do with their lives at 18, 17. You know, so I mean,
I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I do agree that sometimes you have to stay grounded, but then even, like, you know, like, a lot of the stuff I'm fighting for now, i.e. just being in the music world or whatever, like, it's a constant fight with family or whatever. Like, even now, telling my parents that, oh, I'm going to be in London, like, doing this, I'm going to be in the middle of an interview. It's like, stuff like, they don't really care. It's like, there's, like, no excitement or whatever. So, even when we did stuff and accomplished things like 90s Baby and whatever the case may be, it's like, this is stuff that I'm excited about. And yes, I understand they don't know what 90s Baby thing is, but then I would tell them, it's like, oh, I did this, and everybody was like, okay, that's nice, how's school though? And it's like, yo, like, okay, I understand you want me to get the degree and whatever, but then you have to understand that I'm not necessarily the happiest doing this thing. Like, I'll get the degree fine, but music has always had my heart, like always. So with you, again, you're almost kind of the thing that I kind of want to become, in a sense that it's just like, okay, I mean, you, again, you didn't necessarily go through that path of uni and whatever the case may be, and that's completely fine. But you went on to do something that you love, though, and you're fulfilled. Obviously, you've built this, you're making platform for not only yourself, but other people. So I think that's just something that is worth, like, you should feel accomplished, genuinely.
Thank you, man. I just got to keep going. I've done these things and that things. I just want to help people and help myself.
Yeah, I can imagine, bro.
So I don't know if fulfillment's the feeling I have, but I'm happy. Like,
you shouldn't feel fulfilled yet.
Yeah,
like,
there's no finish line. This. That's another thing that you should take. There's no finish line. There's no point that you get to. I think I heard Skepta say this on his live or something, but he said there's no point that you get to and you think, yeah, this is it, I've made it. Do you know what I mean? You just got to keep going. It's just like a marathon, like Nipsey Hussle would say. You know what I'm saying? It's real stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happens. People, they'll get to a certain point and think, oh, ain't this the bit where I'm finished and I'm happy? And then you feel like, bro, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to just keep going, keep achieving, keep doing more things. You know what I mean?
Of course. I feel like your finish line is literally in depth. Like, I don't want to ever get to point B in my 20s or 30s or whatever that feels like, oh, I've accomplished this, I'm done. Impossible.
Bro, I'm not going to lie to you, You see, this life is not easy.
It's not.
So,
no,
for
it's
me,
not.
For me, like, what you just said, the complete opposite is what I've actually set for myself. So,
really?
So now I have actually made a deal with myself that at least from now till I'm 30, I'm going to walk. As in, I'm going to walk like a dog.
Of course.
You know? So when I'm 30, my...
How old are you now?
Career, I'm 21.
Okay, yeah.
So career-wise, there's a certain level I want to be at. A certain level. Now, if by 30 I've gotten to that level, I won't be incompetent, but I won't strive as hard, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I just want to have a sensible base.
Okay.
Because I personally believe that between 20 and 30 could set the pace for the rest of your life.
Of course.
You can get to 30 and never need to work again. you know. Plus, I do have some other things. People who listen to the podcast would know Nigeria and all that stuff. So I do have some other things that I want to do with my life that isn't necessarily law or isn't necessarily what I'm doing right now. So I see that as.
Do you have any examples of what you're
to
gonna do?
So this is a wider topic, but our country is in shambles.
Oh, it's in
if
ruins.
I put it,
What, Nigeria?
Yeah.
There was a madness that happened.
It's in shambles.
Yeah.
So
And they got a few friends there. They were there telling me. Crazy,
bro. So I'm studying law. You know, it's a skill I can apply there. And then there are a lot of people there who they don't believe in lawyers because they can't afford them. You know, so if by 30, 35, I've put myself in a position where I don't have to work every day to put food on the table, you know, stuff like that. I could always just go back there, set up, and I always tell them just set up one office, do pro bono work for people who can't afford, you know, legal representation. So for me, it's not like, oh, get to $200 million, 200 million pounds, and let me get to the next billion. If I have 200 million pounds, I'm set.
Yeah, if you do, you do. That's what I'm saying. There's no finish.
Do you know it's mad? I've known you for God knows how long. Like looking at 14 years, you've never told me that.
Told you what?
Like the whole plan about having the pro bono lawyers and whatever.
Bro, I swear.
Back home,
Okay, Okiki's not here. I say this every time. I always tell them I will just set one office somewhere and just do pro bono.
That's
work
blessed
wherever,
though. It's absolutely something that we need back home because even in Nigeria is a place where like you can unlawfully get arrested. The lawyer goes there to bail you out and they arrest the lawyer.
Bro,
It's like that.
Like
It's
the country doesn't sound like a real place. I don't want it to be like we're just ragging on our country for no reason.
No,
it's gotten to the
it's the
point
reality,
where
though, innit?
we have to talk.
So
about
what's the
these
good
things.
side of Nigeria? What's the good side of it? You got
Literally,
an excellent football team.
literally everything else.
Vibe. We have the
The
musicians,
people,
like
the music, the culture,
the athletes.
bro.
Yeah.
Like yo,
It's just
you were just talking about Skepta. He's one of us.
Yeah,
like
Nigerian, that's what I'm
literally, there's
saying.
so.
What's it, Super Eagles?
You get me?
Super Eagles. Yeah, I love
Jersey.
Nigeria, man.
it's literally just the governance that's screwing up. That's why it's actually so painful because there's so much.
Because they're the leaders,
potential.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So what if they can't behave? What's going on here? But this is the same for England though, because you know the first time I watched, you know when they're in Parliament and everyone's talking,
Yeah.
One day I think I was like 13 or something, and I walked in and my dad was watching the news, and they were just shouting like animals, I walked in, I was like, Dad, is this how they're going in Parliament? He was like, yeah, you didn't know that. I was like, what? These guys in suits and they all go on like animals like this in Parliament. I was shocked, man.
Bro, look at the Prime
like-
Minister of the United Kingdom. Look at his hair.
Yeah,
And
he's
I've
a
been told that
clown, he's a
my
clown.
thing is unprofessional.
You don't have the answers.
But it's like,
Because
brother, like,
these
look at the
guys are
PM of this
supposed to
country.
Yeah,
They're
it's
supposed to
crazy.
be like the epitome of cleanliness. Just they're supposed to carry
couldn't
themselves
believe
as
it.
some sort of.
Do you know what I said to him? I said to him, they're going on like that. You know, I get detention for laughing at this in school every day. You know that? Like, it's mad. I thought I was the bad guy. That was crazy. That was a moment. That was another moment I realized life ain't black and white, man. I swear.
At all.
It's not, man.
for
I
sure.
swear, man.
But yeah, man, before we actually head out, like, two things. One, do you have any advice for international Nigerians like us, or even just other people watching that are just out here trying to chase their dreams?
Is there a certain date? Do you have to go back to Nigeria at a certain time, or
I mean,
could you stay here if you wanted to?
I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, right now, obviously, we have to finish a degree, and then that's the legal point that we actually have to leave unless we find a job or whatever.
Okay. Do you plan on staying in London after the degree?
I mean, right now, my head is in staying in London right now because I want to actually be kind of what he's planning on doing. I kind of want to be accomplished to the point that when I actually go back, it's not just to live a lavish life or whatever. Like, I want to help in a lot of ways.
And give back.
Because even now, one thing, again, it's actually so ironic, like you're going on about, creating a place where pro bono work can be done or whatever the case may be. I want to be that person, even if somehow, somewhere I don't make it in music or entertainment. Like, I want to be that one person, that people can look at as like, oh, like he came from a background of where people or family or whatever always told him was like, oh, like leave that alone, or that's just a hobby or whatever the case may be. I want to be that person that kind of like encourages people, be open, art schools, music stuff, and like studios like this, like just to give people like a space to create and be themselves. Because now back home it's just a strain Nigeria, doctor, lawyer, engineer, or disgrace.
I'm actually gonna challenge that. Actually,
You're gonna challenge.
You're gonna challenge it, but in Nigeria, either a doctor, lawyer, engineer or a disgrace. And yes, I understand.
This
Yes, I understand music and all that is like you said, you have to be nuts to do it because it's so risky. The cash loss is mad, blah blah blah. So I always do believe that you should have something to fall back on, i.e., even with me being a degree or whatever the case may be. But then I still believe that people should be allowed to chase their dreams, any dreams that they have. So what is your rebuttal, bro?
We've actually kind of talked about this on the podcast before. Now, for sure, people should be allowed to chase their dreams,
Okay.
But from the perspective of a Nigerian parent, maybe not us, because we actually have resources.
Yeah.
You know, in Nigeria, let's say someone below the middle class, let's say the lower class. Now, in a country in a system like that, it is highly unlikely, and when I say highly unlikely, I mean really, really unlikely that certain types of work are livable. Now, I'm not saying that people should be forced to do what they don't want to do. But what I'm saying is that I kind of, sort of, maybe understand why Nigerian parents are so cagey about that kind of
When
thing.
you say work that's livable, what do you mean
Like you can have a livable wage off.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But hear this though, like you know how at least back in the day there used to be youth clubs all over London and wherever the case may be, where a lot of that is like free essentially. Like people just go there to avoid trouble and then just have a place where kids can just chill or whatever. Imagine studios like this here, but free. Like it's just free for the youth or whatever. So then really it's obviously it's a very expensive venture. Like
I had free,
very expensive.
I will give back one day.
It's
maybe
a
a £5 an hour or something. Special offer, yeah.
But yeah, obviously it would be a very expensive venture, and obviously like I would have it like a thing where even like here, obviously they charge whatever it is, they charge per hour and whatever, they charge VAT, and to people that can actually afford it, like actually reputable artists or whatever. But at the same time, there will still be slots for kids or whatever that might not even be sure that music is the thing to do. But then it's just like a free space to practice, so it's coming at no financial
all of
loss
these
to
things were
them.
in the youth clubs, they shut them all down.
Yeah.
They all had their studio, pools, tables, game, everything.
Oh, shut down.
I don't think are they any? There's none open in it.
Nah. For the
Not
most
that I
part,
know of,
yeah. For the most part, always shut down. Like again, as much. I don't even know how I know as much as I do about the UK and whatever. Like, even telling people, it's mad. Even telling people I grew up on Wretch is like, you're from Lagos, Nigeria. How? It's like, genuinely, like, to be fair, I discovered him on FIFA, so I was just lucky.
Oh, FIFA,
Yeah, I discovered him on FIFA, so I was just lucky. But then, me, like, I've just always just kind of been interested in British culture or whatever. Like, because once upon a time, as when I went to school in New York, like, I was literally paying proper attention to, like, the Bugsy chip beef, for example.
Yeah.
And obviously people had...
So it's your curiosity. Your curiosity's got you here.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So yeah, obviously I'm blessed. Hopefully I can do something. I'll be back here one day, you know, on a professional level. And you'll finally be able to do his thing. And you, of course, you're a big part of why we're in this room right now. Be it obviously as a guest and just like an engineer and anything. So yeah, before we head out, like I said, is like any advice you want to give to people like me from all backgrounds, or even just other people watching in general?
Do you know that's hard? Because I came from such... My parents were strict when it came to school, but they weren't strict with what I do. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like they didn't tell me you have to do maths, you have to be a set. Do you know what I'm saying? What do you want to do? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to get. I don't know. Like,
To be fair, it's honesty. Like
I'm just saying. That's what I said. Reach for the star, but still stay grounded.
yeah,
Just do what you got to do. Do your degree. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have money coming in, cash flow.
yeah.
And just at the same time, keep interest. Even if you spend an hour a day on what you're interested in, how many hours is that in about 2 years' time? You know what I mean? So you're still invested in what you're doing. So keep focus on what the things that you do love. So you're not just working 24/7 or just studying something you don't completely like 24/7. You have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I have this little project that I'm working on at home that you can look back on. You know what I'm saying? Because not everything what I did was paid for before. Do you know what I mean? And when I first started, it was just messing about, curiosity. You know what I mean?
Imagine,
It's
man.
your life, bro. So
Yeah.
It's life, bro. But yeah, man, again, we're out here at JukeBox Studios. Thank you so much, bro, for coming through, man. If I already know what it is. And yeah, I'm just humble, bro. Just having moments like this, opportunities like this. Hopefully it's like the first of many that we get to do things like this. And I can't lie, I just feel super blessed right now, bro.
Yeah.
But from that, just wrap it up. You already know where it is: Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor, wherever you get your podcast from. Hi, YouTube. And yeah, as always, you know where it is, man. Green Passport, we out.
Yeah. Bless.
Peace. Whew.